Early, definitely.
Yeah.
Should see the car park.
Yeah, I know.
Four-wheel driving.
Yeah.
I drove into it and I said I'm going to keep driving straight out because I don't want to get bogged. Yeah, I've got a four-wheel drive, but I don't want to get bogged.
I went up there. I went up the Richmond up the side.
Yeah.
Parking. Yeah, there's places anywhere.
Right. Yeah. There's people all walking in now. I just jump the queue and run in. Where were we normally up there?
No, it's right up against the wall, but that's...
Whatever suits you. Alright. We've got our clothes dryer.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get my washing dry.
Yeah.
And so what's that for the...
Oh, that's the atmosphere.
Yep.
Comes the rain.
the founding clubs of the NTFL that are now over 100 years old since they formed. I'd like to acknowledge Wanderers sponsors, Gumach, Sills, our major sponsors, Sandran, our junior sponsors for their support. They allow us to get our kids out of the park and to participate in the sport that we all love to be a part of. Thank you everyone for getting out here on this day. We're really fortunate with the weather to be able to take part in something special. But before we proceed, I'd like to now pass over to Mark Potlett to provide a welcome to the country.
Thanks, Gerard. Bachi Waratah Waratah. Welcome to Waratah country. On behalf of my elders, past, present and future, I welcome you all here to Waratah country, in particular the Garden Circle. The Waratah consists of 9 family groups: Machos, Browns, Cabillos, Fijos, Raymond Mills, Roman Danks, Tommy Lyons group, Shepherds, the McLennan Johns group, which is my family group. There are over 2,600 Waratah, and the numbers are still building. Our land starts from the mouth of the Fitness River in the west, all the way across the Gunpoint, including Vernon Islands, and as far inland as 50 kilometres inland to the Adelaide River. We are known as the saltwater people. Many great Waratah have represented both the Wanderers Footy Club and the Waratah Football Club over many years and really graced this ground here in particular. So I welcome you all here today. Have a great contest and may the best team win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, for that amazing work in the country. It's a really special thing to do for such a significant game. If I could please get everyone standing now for the national anthem, I'd like to hand over to Andy Jones, who will be singing the national anthem today.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Now I'd like to invite the Chief Minister, Michael Gunner, onto the field, where we'll be making the 20 cross. I'll also call over the captains for Waratah and Wanderers. Heads it is.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gardens Oval in Darwin. Beautiful Gardens Oval by the sea for round 15 of the 2020-21 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between Wanderers and Waratah. And today, Liz Cruz and Stu Davis joining you. And Stu, a very special day for the Foundation Cup.
Absolutely. It's the traditional Australia Day game between these two clubs, obviously founding members of the NTFL from way back in 1917, and it's a great spectacle every year, and this year extra special. I think the quality of the two teams out there, and lots of players backing up from the rep game on Saturday. Just one missing, I think. Poor old Zach Westerberg, who hurt his shoulder, but everyone else is on the ground, and so there's quality all over the ground. It'll be a great spectacle today.
Absolutely. As you said, quality. We've got Wanderers sitting second on the ladder and Waratah sitting fourth, so it should be a cracking game. We had a wonderful welcome to country by Mark Motlop, as you may have just seen, and then the coin toss by the Chief Minister, which TARS won. They're kicking it to the Darwin high end and Wanderers kicking it to the city end. We've got a great crowd here today at Gardens Oval. Everyone loves the Foundation Cup game and the tradition of coming to Gardens Oval. So there's been a bit of rain around, but it's just cleared in time for the game. A bit of mud in the middle, but it should be a good, clean game, Stu.
Yeah, plenty of rain during the week and a solid downpour just as the players run on the field, but cleared for now, so hopefully we get some good, clean footy. And just an interesting stat, Liz, these two teams are the highest scoring teams in the league, so hopefully we see a bit of that today. So the ball up in the centre of the ground, and some strong body work in there already. Quick kick forward, and Braden McLean chases that out towards the boundary in front of the scoreboard. He slips over and carries the ball over with him, and so a ball up.
Both teams have got their Indigenous round Guernsey and Guernseys on. Waratah debuting it today. It's designed by one of their women's players, Sharona Bishop, which looks fantastic, and Wanderers by Keelan Fijo.
Some hands in tight there by Wanderers, and Totham gets a kick forward towards half forward. Contest on the outer side of the ground, and the ball's knocked over the boundary line for another boundary throw in on the outer side. So yeah, pretty muddy in the middle, and they've moved the centre square over towards the outer side of the ground just to try to free up the traffic a bit, I think. So it's a good idea, and got the boundary throw in here on the ground. Javaston Priest got the hand pass out, but he was tackled straight away. Quick hand pass forward by Mitch O'Donnell, but was chopped off by Wanderers and knocked out again. So hopefully we'll get some cleaner football soon, and we'll get the ball into some space, but it's clogged up on the outer side of the ground at the moment. So over the back, lurking free for TARS was Jay McGrath in some space. He kicks forward. Robbie Turnbull's down there doing battle with Warwick Williams. Both look to be holding, but it's going the Wanderers' way to Williams, and he's looking to switch the play straight away to the outer side of the ground. He does that, and the mark's taken, and quickly playing on. There was the Wanderers, but it's chopped off in defence by Timmy Mosquito for Waratah, just forward of half-back. He's looking to switch the ball into the centre of the ground where all that mud is, but looks to be okay at the moment. Hand pass comes back. Kick forward by Searle towards the outer side of the ground. Ball's on the ground. In there for TARS was Keranua trying to toe poke it forward, but Wanderers with the clearance, and Braden McLean on the left foot hits up Javaston Priest, and he looks to switch the ball into the middle of the ground looking for Thomas Motlop there, but he had plenty of opponents, and TARS bring it out of defence. And now the opportunity here for Edmonds, who kicks in short to half forward where he's got some spare players, and William Collis has another spare deep in the forward pocket, and that's Robbie Turnbull, and he'll go back for the first shot on goal for the match.
All on his own, Robbie Turnbull. He's having an outstanding season for Waratah, and just a couple of weeks out now from finals, Stu. He'll be wanting to get them on track for their finals campaign.
Definitely, and a really important game today. TARS win this, and they sit in third place tonight, with having played the extra game, of course. But Turnbull's dragged that one, and 3 for a minor score. So yeah, Waratah's of course played Friday night, and 4 of their players played on Saturday. They didn't play Friday, of course, but and Wanderers have got 6 representative players out there that played Saturday, so it's going to be hard work for some of them, but they're certainly fit enough, and this is Tar's 3rd game in 10 days or something.
Yeah, I know it's been a bit of a heavy workload, but Coach Ryan Ayres said they're up for the challenge and they just have to manage it. So no excuses by Waratahs, they're just getting on with the job.
Big punch forward by Priest. Running onto it down here was Dre Thompson. He hand passes inboard now, but it's chopped off by Mosquito. Out to Brody Carroll. There's a bit of a wrestle on infield, but the play goes on. Now the ball on the ground. Some strong work there by O'Donnell for Tars. Drives the ball deep into the forward line. Cameron Arnold there on the end of it. It loses his footing, and some good defensive work by Wanderers by hand, and Tars players appealing for deliberate, but the umpire says we'll throw it in. And
despite it being Waratah's end, there was some great work there by Marlon Motlop and Dre Thompson, and Marlon Motlop's another one that played in the rep game on Saturday, but he played for Glenelg, which is his Sandful club.
That's right. So we've got a whistle here. It's a free kick in the rucking contest, and advantage is paid through the middle of the ground. Priest in there against 3 Waratah opponents. He tried to kick it off the ground, had an air shot, and Tars are able to switch it back here into the hands of Edmonds. And looks like we've got a 50-metre penalty here. And so this will take Edmonds right down to the end of the goal square virtually, and should easily kick Tar's first goal from there.
And just see Wanderers captain Braden McLean, hands on his hip. He's disappointed with that because they're working hard to stop that. But first goal of the day in the Foundation Cup goes to Waratah through Edmonds, Stu.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, they've had the majority of the play so far, and which surprises me a little bit. Wanderers have been a very strong outfit this year, but Tars have been in really good form lately. Both sides are in good form, so they've got the early advantage. And just a number change on our team sheet. Dre Thompson's wearing number 20, not number 1 as we had him on the team sheet, but he's pretty recognisable.
He is, with that hair, and he's been an outstanding junior of the NTFL competition for a number of years. So, and despite it being at Gardens Oval today, Stu, it is a Wanderers home game, which is something different.
Well, and they played here Friday night, and it was a Tiwi home. So,
it's good to see the use of the suburban grounds, and everyone loves coming to footy at Gardens Oval.
They do. And Dane McFarlane with the clearance. Ball's on the outer side. James Waratah sees it over the boundary line for a throw in between wing and half forward for Wanderers. So Kirby and Priest, ball misses both of them in the end. McFarlane's in there, couldn't control it. And now Kirby tries to get the hand pass out. Pack of players around the ball, and eventually it does work its way out. Whistle's blown, but advantage is paid, but no real advantage there. The mark's taken by Brody Newman, of course, and he looked like he went to play on, but was given the benefit of the doubt. Went across to his captain in Braden McLean. He centres the ball here, and the mark's taken by Bryden Hodgson. He plays on now while the Waratah players were arguing. Kicks it forward, and Totham gets on the end of this. Hand passes out. Hodgson on the outside of the boot. Can't bring it back far enough, and through for a minor score.
But a much better build-up there by Wanderers, finally managing to get it into their forward 50.
Callum Searle brings it into the outer side of the ground and hits up Arnold Kirby out there. He chips in short and finds Turnbull inside the centre square. He's looking to switch the ball to the grandstand side of the ground. He does that now. But, contest there sees the ball punched away by Erlinson on the ground. It's manner for Wanderers looking to drill the pass in forward, but some really good defensive work down there by Alex Maloney. And Tars chip it out, and Turnbull's on the end of this. Play on's the call, gets the hand pass out to Gooch. Gooch has a spare player down towards half forward, and that's McGrath. McGrath plays on and kicks inside 50 and hits William Collis on the outer side of the ground in front of the light tower out there. So he'll be kicking from about 45. So all the stars getting in the action as the representative stars, as we talked about before, and Tars another opportunity. The kick's on its way. Looks pretty good, I think. I think it's just snuck in, and it has. And the Waratah players are celebrating as they should, and they've got their second goal on the board.
To Collis, whose first season in the NTFL, he made his debut in round 1, the younger brother of Dylan. He's got 3 years of VFL experience with Casey, and yeah, he's got them off to a really good start there. Their second goal on the board at about the 8.5-minute mark here at TIO Stadium, Stu. Gardens Oval. Yeah. Yes. Gardens Oval. Haven't been here since round one. So yeah, it's good to be back.
Fantastic. We love it here. And so do the crowd, obviously, looking around. Always well represented here, especially the Waratah supporters. So back underway. Kick off the ground there by Dylan Collis, but chopped off in defence by Newman for Wanderers. He kicks towards the outer side of the ground where Sutton had a leap at the ball, couldn't take it, and now Turnbull again for Tars drives them forward inside 50, but just out in front of Michael Newton on the outer side, and he couldn't keep it in. And so obviously selection issues for both sides. I noticed in the Div 1 before this, Matthew Blake was playing, and Mitch Garton for Wanderers, so he's been pretty influential in the ruck during the year. So obviously positions are hard to get in strong sides, and that's how you want it to be coming towards the finals.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the top teams will be in that position, Stu, with the amount of players up here due to COVID that relocated during the season. So it'll be a really interesting run to the finals and then final series. We see Wanderers get that ball forward, take a really good mark there.
Yeah. Find out who that is, but it's not on the team sheet.
Not on the team sheet.
Thomas Motlop.
I'll work it out in a minute.
Benefits from the switch and takes the mark out here. He's looking to go straight down the corridor towards the top of the goal square there. Red Eddie was lurking, but good defensive work by Bailey's Oval. And Tars bring it away to the grandstand side where Braden McLean gets a fist to the ball, knocks it over the boundary line, says hello to Brock Orville afterwards, and then jogs off.
There is a danger player down there for Wanderers I'd like to see get involved, and that is Liam Patrick. He's put his hand up to go in the ruck contest now, and he's someone that can win a game off his own boot.
So he's in there now, but we've got a whistle on the play. It's a free kick, and it's Dylan Collis with the free kick. He switches towards the mud in the middle of the ground, but some clever work out there, and now Sutton drives them inside forward 50 again, and hand over the shoulder, and it's a free kick there to Michael Newton on the outer side of the ground, who only managed 10 goals in his last outing, so he's looking to get on the board again here. Yeah,
another player who can win a game off his boot. He AFL experience, and as you said, Stu kicked 10 goals in the last game against Tiwi, so let's see what he does with this one.
Newton just crosses paint of 50, kicks towards goal. This one's offline, falling short, and punch forward. Orville's lurking there, but it's taken out of his hands by his teammate. A hook around the corner by Dylan Collis, and Tars have got all the running early in this Gardens Oval fixture with the first 3 goals on the board. Yeah,
great work the last 2 goals to Collis. So his second season of NTFL with Waratah. He's also had VFL experience with Casey, played 25 games, and he had signed to play with Kilda City in the amateurs in 2020, but obviously couldn't due to COVID. So he's originally from Garfield, and he won a couple of premierships with them. So hopefully the Collis family are watching from down south. Hello to you as Waratah take the lead 3-1-19, just to Wanderers 1 behind so far, about the 12.5-minute mark of the first quarter here at Gardens Oval.
So Liam Patrick up high early, did get his hand to the ball, but wasn't effective. Brody Carroll with the clearance down towards half forward, thumped away from behind there by Matthew Motlop. Now the Waratah through the hands, bring it down towards half forward. Ball on the ground again. Newton's in there working for it, but he's swamped by Wanderers defenders. Now he punches the ball forward for Tars, and Abe Anker's in there, picks up cleanly, chips backwards, and finds Simpson just outside forward 50. But he's going back pretty confidently. And he's got a couple of leads. ignoring both of them. Wanderers are pretty well set up in defence, and now he decides to go long instead. And that's falling short of the goal square. Attempted kick there by Newman, but he was tackled as he was trying to kick that, and ball on the ground. And another free kick here, and it's going Wanderers' way again. And Braden McLean once again has been pretty prominent early in this game.
Yeah, definitely having a captain's game. This could be a bit of a danger game for Wanderers, and Waratah, as you said, have had all the play in the first quarter, so Braden will be trying to rally his troops to get back in the game on the scoreboard.
So the ball out of bounds on the outer side of the ground, and another boundary throw in.
On paper, Wanderers team looks very strong, Stu. You got Nathan Jakura in there, Thomas Motlop, Marcus Totham, you know, just read down the list, Jared Erlinson, some, you know, premiership and very experienced players.
That's right. I was talking to Waratah's coach Ryan Ayres before the game. He said it's the strongest side he thinks he's seen Wanderers put on the park. So, mind you, Tars have got a pretty strong side out there as well. So Searle toe pokes this one to his own advantage, but lets it go for a teammate there. The hand pass comes out here. Simpson picks up, hooks around the corner, but it's all Wanderers there. Liam Patrick deliberately kicked that one off the side of his boot to the advantage of Thomas Motlop. But he's outnumbered 2-1 here, and Tars trying to work the ball forward. Kuranua with the quick hands there, and Turnbull inboard to Edmonds. Edmonds goes short here to O'Donnell. O'Donnell kicks deep and long, and the mark's taken there by Arnold Kirby, about 20 metres out directly in front. So good use of the ball by Wanderers, in tight and under pressure, and then the long kick to advantage, and he just had the size advantage over Brenton Motlop down there.
Oh yeah, he's a big rig, and we saw him against Palmerston, kick 3 or 4 goals, didn't we, Stu? So he has the ability to convert as well.
Yeah, I was trying to think that when that was, Liz, and it was only a week ago. Amazing.
So much football in the last 7 days in Darwin, with the normal round and then the make-up game for the Tiwi Bombers in Waratah, then the rep game, and now the Foundation Cup on a Tuesday. So if you're a footy lover, where else would you rather be?
Definitely, and always great here at Gardens. So kicking comes out here, and mark's taken there by Newman, who hand passed it off. Running around the boundary here is Mano. He's caught with the ball. It slips out of his hands, and that'll be a free kick. He's getting told about it by the Waratah players, but Bailey Zobel, no one on the mark here, so Zobel plays on down the line, and punching in there for Wanderers was Motlop, but it falls into the hands of Brodie Carroll. He kicks it in. McLean's there, but he was felled after he disposed of the ball. And it's a free kick down the field. And Waratah with another shot on goal. It's Newton this time. So really couldn't be in better hands for a set shot from about 25 metres out.
And he's going to kick from the opposite side as his last shot. So let's see if he can get this one through the big sticks.
Newton on his way now. That's a shocker. Straight across goals, out of bounds on the full. It was only went out about shin height if someone was standing there, but no one was. Everyone expected him to at least score.
He did that in, was it round 1, Stu, that game here, where he kicked about 1 goal 6. He just didn't have his kicking boot on that day, so
I think it might have been the game against Saints, actually.
Was it? Yeah. So the score 3-2-20, Waratah leading Wanderers just the one behind at the moment.
Got a free kick to Wanderers in front of the scoreboard. Advantage is paid. They drive it down the line. Mark not taken there by Marlon Motlop. It's forced over the boundary line for yet another throw in on the outer side of the ground.
A couple of Motlops out there today. Thomas and Marlon are brothers, and Shannon Motlop is the coach of Wanderers as well. Very strong name through the club. Maddie Motlop's a cousin who's playing today. Yep,
and Aaron not playing today, obviously. So free kick here to Waratah, and a 50-metre penalty as well. So things just not going Wanderers' way at the moment. And I'll need to regroup pretty soon. This is starting to get out of hand a bit, and a bit of a lead for them to chase down. So another one missing for Tars today is Kim Cantilla, I think. Liz, who was really impressive last time we saw them.
Yeah, he was. We've got Henry Karanua out there, and we always pair them together, the Tiwi boys, as we see that one go through for a behind, because they just are so skillful and exciting when they're on song. And also Timmy Mosquito was great a few weeks ago as well. They just have that X factor that they bring to the game, as we see a massive kick out, but it's gone
out of bounds on the full.
Out of bounds on the full. So Waratah yet again inside their 50.
Will Collis looking for Newton again. He might have been pushed as he was in the marking contest there, but all fair, so the umpires, and we'll have another throw in.
Yeah, and the defender there, another Motlop in Brenton, who is another cousin, the son of Paul Motlop. So lots of depth with the Motlop family.
So hacked off the ground there by Manor, and then again by Matthew Motlop, but it's straight into the hands of Callum Searle. He's looking for Newton again on the outer side of the ground, but it was too far in front of him and slid across the boundary line for another throw in front of the marquee on the outer side.
So the Darwin high end has had all the scoring so far this quarter, Stu.
Certainly has, and Tars really have dominated the general play. Anchors works back on this one, gets the hand pass outside, and a long kick comes to the goal square again. Newman over the top, fists it down, where his captain McLean picks up, drives around, but that kick isn't particularly well defended.
And the rain's just coming down again at Gardens Over, which is going to make conditions a bit slippery, and Brody Newman doing a fantastic job in defence there for Wanderers.
So off the ground, and Motlop chips in short here to Jakura. First time we called him today, but he takes the mark in the back pocket, looks to chip in board, and does so. Back to Matthew Motlop.
Yeah, Jakura was a late starter to the Wanderers season, but it's great to see him back in action.
So long down the line here, and doing the hard work in there is Jason Baird for Wanderers. Erlinson gets the kick in board. It's pretty empty forward, picked up by Brett Eddy. Oh, his kick's not the best there, and Gooch comes across to chop it off. He fumbles on the first attempt, then gets tackled. Now the ball's held in, and we'll have a ball up.
It's a shame his kick didn't come off then, because he worked so hard to run onto that ball and pick it up by Brett Eddy. So 20.5 minute mark of the first quarter, we see that ball up come out.
Clever hit out. Anchors was on the end of it, but he was under plenty of pressure when he did try to kick. Quick kick forward by Marlon Motlop, but strong defence by Gooch, but only as far as Thomas Motlop on the outer side of the ground. He takes the intercept mark there now. Kicks long and high, looking down there for Eddie. Ball slips over the back, Searles there for Tars. Picks it up and drives it back to where it came from. And off hands, it slips out the back to Dre Thompson. He ducks one way, then the other. Runs inside forward 50 now, kicks long towards goal. It's drifting though on the breeze. And through for another minor score for Wanderers.
Well, he had the right idea then, Dre Thompson. He just tried to get it over the defenders, because they haven't been able to do so so far during the game, weaving through traffic, but just off to the left. So Wanderers' second point for the game. Waratah 3-3-21, leading Wanderers 2 points.
Kicking comes to the grandstand side of the ground this time. Hands Simpson with a high kick in towards the centre of the ground. Thompson sitting underneath this, couldn't take the mark, and then he's swamped by Waratah players. Ball in the middle, but Karanua a bit overzealous there and got into the back of Hodgson right in the middle of the cricket pitch area, and picks himself up, and the siren goes to end the first quarter, which Waratah won pretty comprehensively, and they take a 19-point lead into quarter time, Liz.
Yes, that's right. 3-3-21 to just the two behinds here at the Foundation Cup at Gardens Oval. We'll be back after a short break. Well, welcome back to Gardens Oval for the second quarter of this game between Wanderers and Waratah for the Foundation Cup. It's all Waratahs early, 3-3-21, leading Wanderers, just the two behind, Stu.
Yes, Patrick up high, won that hit out. Marlon Motlop couldn't handle it. The ball's on the ground. Jakura fighting hard in there now. Ankers gets a hand pass out, but only as far as Marlon Motlop, who hooks around the corner down towards Bates at half forward. Coming through strongly for Tars was Searle, one of their better players in the first quarter, I thought, and his kick grubbered along the ground to another one of their better players, O'Donnell. Eventually it works out, and Braden McLean on the end of this gets tackled with the ball. It spills out and dragged back in, and now Waratah through hands comes out to Collis, but not his best effort, and Jakura will pick it up for Wanderers and kick the ball long into the half forward area. Bates and Waratah fighting for the ball on the ground. Eventually it gets knocked free, and some good use of the hands back there by McCarthy over to Gooch. Gooch's kick was smothered by Cabillo. He butters up again with the tackle. Loose ball comes out here where Marlon Motlop picks up, but he's tackled straight away by Brodie Carroll. Oh, hooked down there cleverly, and the kick forward by McFarlane falls in the hands of Totham, but his kick's offline, unfortunately, for Wanderers, and they're still searching for their first goal.
Yeah, some really clever, quick work there by a few Wanderers players, but not the result they wanted. Totham probably just needed to take an extra second before he got that shot off, so they're third behind on the board for Wanderers.
So Tars just slowly with the ball here. It's Maloney who kicks in short, and now the long kick by O'Donnell forward of centre wing for Tars. That was almost a throw out, but play on's the call. William Collis hooks it back here looking for Turnbull. Just went the required distance, and Turnbull takes the mark, wheels around now, kicks towards a free player at half forward, who is Simpson. Simpson drives it down towards the goal square. It slips over the back, but bounces out of bounds, and a throw in right next to the behind post at the city end of the ground.
Yeah, a bit more teamwork needed there by Wanderers. Simpson was on his own for quite a while, so if he'd kicked that goal, that would have, been a pretty big margin.
So Patrick doing the ruck work with McGrath, comes to Brodie Carroll at the back of the pack. He hooks around, but it's not coming back at all far enough, and drifts out of bounds on the full.
Brodie Carroll is the co-captain of Waratah, having a pretty good season.
Hodgson chips in short to Marlon Motlop. It bounced in front of him, but he was good enough to get up and kick around the corner, and Thomas Motlop takes the mark out there on the half-back flank. He kicks long down the wing now. Big leap, but the ball slips over the back where Bates is running onto it. Couldn't take it cleanly the first time, and now McFarlane comes in to help. Scoops the hand pass over the top, and so we see Liam Patrick in the ruck, Liz, and I did notice in the first quarter that Joe Baston-Priest came off pretty sore, so he's their first choice ruckman for today, obviously, and hasn't been back on the ground since, so that could be a worry for Wanderers.
Could be. We'll have to find out at half-time, but Liam Patrick, you'd like to see a bit closer to goals, has the ability to convert, as we see Wanderers get that one through the middle.
Yes, that was McFarlane again for Wanderers, who burst through the pack, got the kick forward. Bates hooked it round the corner, and it's touched over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
And I think Bates is going to give away a free kick there, so tempers have flared, but McFarlane and Bates both played in that rep game and have had outstanding seasons for Wanderers, so we just hopefully cool heads can prevail here, but it looks like it's going to be a Waratah free kick. And a blood rule.
Yeah, so looks like a nasty one too.
The Waratah player coming off the ground, he's not very happy about it either. And they're going to get a 50-metre penalty. So Wanderers were pushing forward then, and now all of a sudden it's going to be back in the middle of the ground with a Waratah kick. I'll work out who that player is coming off.
Yeah, I think it's James Waratah.
Yeah. Who
was, he's been marking Bates pretty closely, and Bates obviously got a little bit frustrated there and gave away the free kick. But Tars back in action now through Carroll and then to Zobel. Zobel goes long straight down the ground, but it's taken back there by Hodgson, who hands it off to Dre Thompson. He kicks long down the middle of the ground. Bates is running onto this one over the back. Whistle's blown and the ball will come back. And it'll be a free kick here to Eddie Simpson.
Yeah, just a holding free kick there. He did well, but Bates was off with no one up forward, so he does like those running goals.
Simpson kicks long, looking for Brett Eddy. Eddy uses his strength there, and there was a whistle before he marked the ball, but I think it was going to be his free kick anyway, so he'll go back, and it's probably his first kick for the day, I would think.
Yeah.
And, it'll be a shot on goal from pretty close range.
Key player for Wanderers. He's had 150 sample games for South and Port Adelaide, and won the Ken Farmer medal down there for leading goal kicker in 16-17, so he should be able to convert this. But he doesn't. Commentator's curse. He's missed to the right. So the Wanderers just aren't on song today, Stu.
No, they're not. And yeah, just they've really missed some chances that they should have taken. And it's going to be, looks like it might be damaging for them as we go forward.
Yeah, well, 6-minute mark of the second quarter at Gardens Oval. It's Waratah 3-3-21, leading Wanderers 4 points, and there's been no goals scored so far in the second quarter.
So the ball comes out over half back. William Collis in there, busy as usual, picks up, gets a hand pass back to Turnbull. He's tackled as he kicks. Kirby cleverly takes it out of the air with one hand. Oh, a nice hand pass back inside by Zobel. He was interfered with after he got rid of the ball. Looks like Bates is in the action again, and it's a Waratah free kick here.
Josh Cabillo just using his experience to tell them all to settle down and get on with it. And as you said, another free kick to Waratah.
So it's Zobel with the free kick at half back, and Bates looks like he's making his way to the bench down here, and in fact it's not going to be Zobel's kick. They're making Arnold Kirby come back and take the free kick. So he's between half back and wing for Tars. Looks like he's going to Torp here and gets onto it all right. It's close to the boundary line, and in fact finds its way over the boundary line on the full, so perhaps not the best option for him from there.
No, I think they just all need to settle down at this point and get back to playing footy. It's only early in the game, and we don't want to see that continue for the rest of the game as Wanderers take that kick in, and just bounced on the line.
Brody Newman's kick almost found its way out again, but yes, on the line, and a boundary throw in front of the Waratah interchange bench.
I think Wanderers just might be a bit frustrated with their own form at the moment and not being able to kick a goal, and there is a lot of pride on the line in the Foundation Cup game, especially so close to finals.
Thomas Motlop with the hands over the top, but Zobel was in there, got it forward, but Wanderers with the numbers. Deacon Braun hand passes forward, a hand pass straight in the air by Totham, finds McFarlane, but he's tackled as he tries to break through the pack. Play on the call, he swung his boot and got it clear. Turnbull's in there now for Tars, and Deacon Braun again working hard, second and third efforts. Carroll in there, Braun picks up, his kick's smothered, Turnbull kicks into the back of his teammate. It's all happening at half forward, but the ball's really not going anywhere.
And just look at the number of Waratahs around the ball, Stu.
Yeah, they're certainly fired up for this one, and yeah, some of the events of the last couple of minutes have fired them up a bit more, I think. So coming through across half back there was Maloney, but his kick again was smothered. Carroll chips it out wide there, and he's hit the ground after he's got rid of the ball. It's a relayed free kick, and Waratah take advantage of that, play on down the ground. Chipping across as Hodgson couldn't take the mark, but McLean tidies up for Tars. On the left foot he goes looking for Thomas Motlop in the centre of the ground. Off his hand it slips over the back. Now Liam Patrick's got the chance to kick off the ground, but it goes straight to Timmy Mosquito out here, positioned himself nicely and kicks it high to Kiranua. Kiranua takes a mark, wheels around on the left, kicks high into full forward, but it was always going to be a Wanderers mark down there, and Hodgson has saved a few forward entries this quarter, and again takes a mark and clears. Mosquito in front, had the ball punched away, and now McFarlane in there, good hands out here to Jason Baird. Jason Baird on the outside of the foot, and Brett Eddy just really strong work there, takes the mark.
Jakura's calling for it at the top of the goal square. He lost his player for a minute, but now Tars have picked him up as Eddie's looks like he's going to go back and have that shot.
Yeah, so he's kicking from pretty much on the boundary line as he comes in.
Right in front of the Waratah bench, Stu.
So he'll be getting some advice from there, no doubt. His kick's on the way. Looks like he's dragged this one after pushing the previous one, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And again, Wanderers just unable to finish and not taking their chances because, again, the play's all been down this end of the ground really in this quarter, but Wanderers in, but they haven't been able to capitalise.
They're going to have to change their boots at half-time to the kicking beat, Stu, because they haven't converted anything yet as Baird goes for the punch there, and Kirby's going to, just drops the mark in front of the grandstand.
So he's diving on the ball, he's on top of it now, he could be in trouble here. Dre Thompson's laying on top of him. Sam Cunningham, the umpire, says no, I'll ball it up. Didn't look to be making too much effort to get it out
though. A few youngsters out there for Wanderers today. As we said, it's a strong team, but Baird and Deacon Braun and the likes of them.
Dre Thompson.
Thompson.
Speaking of which, he picks up now, kicks on the left foot, and Totham's there, but it slips out of his grasp. Carroll comes in for Tars. Cleverly done by Thomas Motlop to pat it forward and then recover himself. He kicks high towards the outer side of the ground. Ball bounces past all the players there. Jakura's going to be first back onto this one, but he's under pressure. Hands it off to Motlop. Thomas Motlop goes long into the forward line, and I think that's just bounced on the line as well. And so it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Some slick hands there between Jakura and Motlop.
That was a clever manoeuvre by the boundary umpires. I haven't seen that before. The one from the other side of the ground ran across, and because we have two on one side and one on the other side these days, so that was neatly done. Boundary throw McGrath in there for Tars and Simpson for Wanderers. Deacon Braun's worried out of that one, and eventually it's a high tackle free kick here. And Jakura picks himself up and walks back with the ball, and looks like he's pretty set on having a shot on goal. Oh, he hand passes it off to Marlon Motlop there, and Marlon Motlop makes no mistake. So Wanderers finally get their first goal on the board, and really there hasn't been too much damage done there. Wanderers haven't been able to, Waratahs haven't been able to add to their score in this quarter, and so they're less than 2 goals behind after that first goal for them.
That's just the experienced players there stepping up. You could see Jakura just wanting the ball, trying to push it forward, and both with AFL experience, Marlon Motlop, the two combined, and to get their first goal on the board. Jakura obviously played for Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. He played 25 AFL games, and he's had lots of NTFL experience with Nightcliff, Buffs, Tiwi Bombers and now Wanderers, and whereas Marlon Motlop had experience with Port Adelaide and still down there obviously playing for Glenelg. So 13-minute mark of the second quarter, Waratah 3-3-21 leading Wanderers 1-4-10. So
the thump went down, Cabillo hooked it round into the forward line for Wanderers, and they've got their hands on the ball again, but slips out, and Zobel gets a hand pass out to Searle. Searle on the left, but it's chopped off by Newman just forward of the centre wing for Wanderers, and he'll kick them into attack again. Goes wide. Searle with the one hand out there, couldn't drag it in, and it bounces over the boundary line for a throw-in.
And the sun's even coming out, Stu.
Yeah, we're having it all today.
Might dry all my washing at home. It's been a wet few days, and I think we're going to get a few more with some cyclones off around the coast everywhere. We love wet season. We love wet season footy. So
absolutely. So Erlandson hooks around the corner. Ball bounces inside forward 50 and eventually trickles over the boundary line about 25 metres around from the Wanderers' goal at the Darwin High School end of the ground.
Yeah, so despite Waratah having such a commanding first quarter, it's only 11 points now, and yeah, just some of those missed shots on goal come back to hurt.
Well, that looked like a high tackle. Umpire's seen it that way, and so again it's a Wanderers free kick. And I think it's Cabillo this time.
Looks like Josh Cabillo, another one that played in the rep game. He'd be one of the oldest out there today too, I think. He's been around for a while, Josh.
Certainly has, and he's played in the last 2 NT rep games, 15 years apart, and once for the NT and once for the opposition. So he's spending, I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, he's spending a lot of time forward for Wanderers these days, and obviously gives them some strength down there, and he chips this one towards goal. It's drifting across the face. Eddie pats it back into play. No, he doesn't. Goal umpire calls that says that was over the line and it's a behind. So Tars bring it in quickly, and Kirby marks at half-back on the outer side of the ground.
And we heard Mark Motlop in the Welcome to Country before the game talk about the Cabillos being traditional owners and the Larrakia people. So isn't it fantastic that they're still playing in the NTFL today?
So loose ball on the ground and Turnbull through the hands, but he was pickpocketed down there by Newman. And Wanderers drive it forward. Kirby sits himself under this one, spills it off the chest, and Cabillo comes in. He's appealing for deliberately out of bounds off of Kirby's boot, but umpire Cunningham having nothing of that, and it'll be a boundary throw in just near the scoreboard, which shows Waratah leading by 10 points about 15.5 minutes into this second quarter. That ball goes over the top of the ruckman there, and McFarlane on the left scrubbers it forward, but Tars have the numbers there, and Mosquito comes in, couldn't pick it up, but he's still working hard over the top of it. And hands come out here. Marlon Motlop again decides to hand pass instead out wide to Thomas Motlop. Thomas has a flying shot on goal, and it looks pretty good, and they're right back in this game, Liz.
Yeah, well, the first two and last two goals, two Wanderers have had Marlon Motlop involved. So, as we said at the start of the game, going to be a key player for them today. And obviously Thomas Motlop, a premiership player with the team, passionate Wanderers man, and just combining with his brother to get a goal is pretty special. So 16.5 minute mark of the second quarter, Waratah 3-3-21, leading Wanderers 2-5-17, but that margin back to 4 points, Stu.
A real contest as we thought we'd have coming into the game. Perhaps not the high scoring that we might have expected, but no, it's a terrific contest, and yeah, it could go either way here. From here, obviously, we've got a warning on the play here because Simon Bates for Wanderers didn't get into position quickly enough inside the forward 50, but he had just interchanged and was doing his best to get there.
Batesy became a father a few weeks ago, a little boy named Dusty, so congratulations to Batesy and his partner, and actually not named after Dusty Martin, it's named after his partner's grandfather, so but a pretty cool name to have.
So Wanderers again going forward, but Anchor's tidies up for Tars. Sutton spills that one off his chest and now loops a hand pass out wide. Fortunately, he's got a couple of numbers there. Zobel with a good kick forward finds Turnbull in front of Thomas Motlop. Hands off to Mosquito. Mosquito kicks inside forward 50. Off the hands of Thompson there. Tidying up Newman, cleverly evades one player and then chips down the line, but it just goes over the outstretched hands of Baird. Hand pass comes back inside and Turnbull's there again for Tars. He's tackled straight away. Ball on the ground, some good hands in there by McFarlane, and tapping it over his head was Jakura. Bates is in there again. He gets tackled without the ball. The umpire sees it that way and he'll take the free kick, and he's getting a bit of attention from the Waratah players because he's been involved in a couple of incidents earlier in the quarter, but he looks pretty calm now and kicks the ball down the line. Waratah player went flying out of the pack there and it slips over the back. Cabillo tries to soccer off the ground, manages to toe poke it forward a little bit and comes back to him now. He's tackled with the ball, it slips out and off the ground. Eddie kicks it towards the goal square, but Callum Searle's waiting there for Tars and he runs the ball out with the hand pass over the top to Anchors. Anchors was going to give it back, changed his mind and hooked it over instead to Mosquito, who fumbled on the first occasion. He looked to give it and then ducked back the other way and chips out towards the outer side of the ground, and Searle again takes a mark. Plays on quickly by hand to Collis. He kicks long with the left down towards half forward. It goes over the back. Kiranua the opportunity here, picks up beautifully, but he's tackled straight away by Thompson, and Newman's back there again for Wanderers, and he's decked after he got rid of the ball. Liam Patrick takes it and plays on straight away to Erlinson. Erlinson, a former captain of Wanderers, but his kicks off line. Searle couldn't take the mark but recovers really well and picks up chips inboard and finds Edmonds there.
And the crowd are really getting into this game. Full range of emotions.
Ball's paddled forward again and Collis toe pokes it off the ground. Dylan Collis that was, and deliberate is paid here by umpire Sam Wood. and so things will settle down a bit now, and Baird will take the free kick at half-back for Wanderers.
And we are sitting out with the crowd in the non-existent commentary box today, aren't we, Stu? A bit different to TIO Stadium, so it's great to get involved in the atmosphere.
It is. It's a pretty good vantage point anyway. So good contest for the ball on the ground here by Cameron Arnold and Dane McFarlane. And coming in to help, of course, was Matthew Motlop, but none of them could keep the ball in play, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
It's a bit of a quiet achiever, Matty Motlop. He just gets the job done and no fanfare.
That's not the best throw in. Umpire's going to let it play on though. It fell well short of the ruckman, and we'll have a ball up here as it got wrapped up amongst a number of players there. So Liam Patrick wins that hit out with the fist, and Sean Manor gets his hand to the ball but taps it over the boundary line. So Wanderers scored 2 points in the first quarter, kicking to the city end. Waratah haven't scored at all in this quarter. You'd think there was a howling gale blowing down the ground, but it's certainly nothing like that. Just the way the fortunes have gone. Jakura comes in, tries to pick up Spills forward. Turnbull gets a hand pass out. McCarthy with a quick kick forward. Oh, and some clever work down there by Edmonds, but he was tackled. It comes out to Collis now on the left foot, hooks around the corner, and we've got our first goal at the city end of the ground, and that was Will Collis again. A really good finish on his left foot, and some good work through the hands by Waratah down at half forward there.
Yeah, so William Collis's second goal for the game. His brother Dylan has kicked one, and James Edmonds, the goal kickers for Waratah. While for Wanderers, Marlon Motlop and Thomas Motlop. So a couple of brothers, and both teams getting the goals on the board there. 21.5 minute mark of the second quarter. It is Waratah 4-3-27, leading Wanderers 2-5-17. So a 10-point margin, pretty close to the siren.
Yeah, we're first quarter went about 22 minutes, and we're nearly at that now. So 3 goals in each of the quarters so far. Liam Patrick up high, wins a hit out, comes back to him off the boot, and now McFarlane, another clearance for Wanderers, kicks the ball down towards half forward, off hands. Totham quickly gets it onto his boot and drives it forward. Gooch coming across there, he takes the ball, but he's tackled as he did. Zobel in defence, picks up and drives the ball down the wing. Some good defensive work there by Jason Baird. Sees the ball out of bounds in front of the Waratah club room there, just to our left.
I don't think Liam Patrick's been off for the game, Stu. He's working pretty hard out there against Arnold Kirby in the ruck. And there's the siren for half-time. So Waratah 4-3-27, leading Wanderers 2-5-17, Stu.
Yeah, and Wanderers worked their way back into the game in that quarter, and a late goal to Tars just gave them a little bit of breathing space again, but a real contest on our hands here, a bit of passion in the game, and yeah, don't go anywhere because the second half is going to be a cracker.
welcome back to Gardens Oval for the third quarter of the Foundation Cup between Wanderers and Waratah. A 10-point ball game on our hands, Stu.
Yeah, and Wanderers have thrown Big Simpson into the ruck, and he won the first hit out there. Usually camps himself down forward, but it's Tars with the first forward entry, but Braden McLean read that beautifully and cut it off in front of Orville. And now he drives the ball forward on the outer side of the ground. Cabillo coming in hard, forces the ball to the ground. It comes out the back of the pack to Manor. Manor goes long towards half forward. Ball spills forward in the marking contest, and now McFarlane hooks around on the left foot towards the left forward pocket there. The bounce just evades Liam Patrick down there. He's in there fighting for the ball again. Mosquito gets a hurried kick forward as he was tackled. Patrick again over the ball. And so it's a free kick out there to Liam Patrick at left half forward. And he'll take the shot from about 45 metres out.
Well, that's where we wanted to see Liam Patrick in the forward line, kicking goals, doing what he does. You know, he's in the twilight of his career, but he's still got the ability to win the game off his own hand. So let's see what he does with this one.
So Patrick's kick on the way now. Goal umpire's making a bit of ground to the near side, and he just misses that to the left. So it's a minus score to Wanderers, and Callum Searle will bring it back in for Tars from the city end of the ground. This kick comes out here and finds Simpson. Simpson chips it inboard looking for Ankers. Ankers takes the mark there in front of Marlon Motlop. And Ankers now looking for options. He's looking to switch now. He's seen a free player on the outer side of the ground and hits that player up, and that's Collis, William Collis. And he's also going to receive a 50-metre penalty, so this will take him well within scoring range.
Well, he's kicked 2 today, so he has been very good for Waratah, and he's going to be about 35 out when he kicks this one, Stu, maybe even closer. So
yep,
probably
directly in front.
Third one on the board.
And yeah, he's been pretty good today, as he was last time we saw them. He's, chips at it, no problem at all. Straight through the middle. First goal of the second half, and Waratah stretch that lead again after in the second quarter Wanderers kicked the first 2 goals and got themselves right back in the game, and now Tars have kicked the last of the second quarter and the first of the last quarter.
Yeah, so the score now 5-3, 30. Can't add up, Stu. 33. They're changing the scoreboard. We haven't got a TV here today to help us out. To 2-6-18 Wanderers. So important goal, first goal of the third quarter to Waratah, and third goal for William Collis, and his brother Dylan's kicked one. So 4 between them today.
So at the restart, Eddie Simpson up against Kirby. Simpson wins it down again. Marlon Motlop got his hands to the ball. It spilled out, and holding free kick was paid. Erlinson Manor it was, took the advantage, ploughed the ball deep into the forward line. But Tars again strong in defence. Looked like they have the numbers to bring this one out. It's bouncing around, hands come out. Oh, strong tackle there on O'Donnell as he was had his head down, and umpire Sam Cunningham said that's a high tackle and it's illegal. So it's O'Donnell at half back who'll take the free kick. Picks himself up. Looks like he's been playing in the mud a bit. And so the ball comes back to him now. He gets the hand pass off to Searle, and Searle gets a running kick down towards half forward and finds Turnbull down there. Turnbull takes the mark and looks inboard now here, but I think Wanderers have got the numbers.
Great mark.
Yeah, that's Brodie Newman again with the intercept mark.
He was fantastic in the first half in defence there. So yeah, beautiful mark to start off the third quarter for Newman.
So Newman chips this one in looking for McFarlane, but it hasn't gone far enough for him. And Cameron Arnold chipped in and took the intercept mark for Tars about 50 metres out from goal. So yeah, Wanderers just not on song today, I'm afraid, and they're just struggling to stay in the contest. But Tars another opportunity here, and Cam Arnold comes in and kicks along towards goal. It's a nice looking kick. If it's got the distance, it's going right to the line. In fact, some good work on the right on the goal line down there. And There's going to be a conference between the field umpire and the goal umpire, but looked pretty good from here, Liz.
It did, and a 60-metre goal from right in front of the Waratah bench there, and fantastic goal there by Cameron Arnold. Yes, the umpires have said definitely a goal. So that lead increases Waratah, and Cam Arnold, it's his first season in the NTFL. He's played with Catherine Camels in the Big Rivers League, and he won the Doug Kelly medal for the best and fairest. Was in the losing grand final team though in September. He's originally from the Riddell District Footy League, which is near Sunbury down in Victoria, but his most recent footy before moving up here is with Kundruk Barham in the Central Murray League, and I'm just looking out in the middle at Marlon Motlop, and you can't actually tell what team he plays for. He's covered in mud, so just goes to show he's been in and under today at the ball.
So the ball on the ground towards the outer side of the ground. Motlop's in there, he gets tackled, and again he's held after the ball spilled out, and he'll take the free kick. And as that was happening, William Collis has hit the ground, but play-ons are called. Sean Manor for Wanderers drives it in towards half forward, but chopped off again, and tails through Sutton and hands to Gooch. Gooch tackled as he kicked the ball, but it was still good enough to get it to Turnbull in the middle of the ground. Looks to hand pass, decides against it, and now goes short straight up the ground again. And Will Collis again has a free player drifting forward. That's Jay McGrath on the end of that, and he takes the mark about 20 out, so they're just running rings around Wanderers at the moment.
They are, but that's the first time we've mentioned Jay's name today, I think. He's a very good player, and has won a best and fairest down at Minyip Matoa, but up at Waratahs again, and we'll see him kick this from about 35 metres out on the Waratah wing, I suppose you'd call it, and he's put it through for another goal. So yeah, the floodgates have opened a little bit here in the third quarter for Waratah, and they've increased their lead yet again, Stu.
Yeah, they've come out on fire in this third quarter, kicking the first 3 goals in pretty quick time, and Wanderers basically haven't had it past half forward so far. So,
like you said, there's a lot at stake in this game. You know, Waratah are 4th and Wanderers are 2nd, but the opportunity to leapfrog St Mary's, even if it's only for a short time, Waratah will be wanting to take that chance.
Well, yeah, so Waratah win this. Is really close contest for 2nd, 3rd and 4th spots between those 3 clubs, and Nightcliff, of course, on top of the table and doing most things right this year, but a real contest inside that top 5. And Joe Baston Priest is back out there on the ground, which is good to see, and Sean Manor takes it out of the middle for Wanderers. That's what we're used to seeing, and he drives the ball straight down the ground, but wasn't clean hands there. And Manor again tackled high, holding the ball in fact, and so he that's a Waratah free kick.
Stiff there, Stu. I thought it might have been a bit high, but his teammate did put him under pressure with that handball. Marlon Motlop, a great tackle there, and he's going to get the free kick. Been instrumental for Wanderers today, probably in the best for them.
So just see Brett Eddy on the bench, hasn't been on the ground so far in this quarter, and that's a shocking kick by Motlop.
Gave Marlon a rap, and missed that kick.
Clean with the fist over the back. Newman working hard under plenty of pressure. Dre Thompson puts his head down, dives through and picks up the ball. Newman tries to get his kick to it. Thompson's in there again. McLean by hand out to Hodgson, onto Priest. Priest is tackled by Turnbull, but manages to get his hand pass to Erlandson. Back to Hodgson, and they work the ball pretty well, but the kick went straight into the lap of Timmy Mosquito, just backward of centre for Tars, and now he's got a free player on the outer side of the ground, and that's Jake Sutton, who in space takes the mark, plays on, chips it into anchors in front of the scoreboard, looked to play on but chips back inside instead, and finds Dylan Collis at half forward. He swings around on the left and drills the ball straight into the lap of James Edmonds at half forward. And Tars really looking the goods in this third quarter.
They sure are, and Edmonds kicked the first goal of the day, so he'll be looking for his second.
A couple of interchanges as we speak, but Edmonds kicking from about 40 directly in front, kicks on its way now, and no problem whatsoever, and they've kicked their 4th for the third quarter, and just in less than 10 minutes, so really piling on the pressure here, and Wanderers look to be a bit at sea today, Liz.
Yeah, and they've doubled their half-time score, really. 4 goals in the first half and now 4 goals within the first 10 minutes of the third quarter. So well done there to James Edmonds, but some great team play by Waratah. So Wanderers are 2-6-18 and Waratah, you're going to have to add it up again for me, Stu, 8-3-51.
Yes. So yeah, Wanderers, Waratah really in red-hot form with these 3 games in pretty quick succession, and really setting up their season. And the next game's here against St Mary's, Liz, so that'll be another blockbuster.
Absolutely, and it's probably going to be the second. They'll be second, third, or fourth on the ladder.
That's
so
right.
Top 4 game again.
So Searle across half back has been good all day. Gives the 1-2, gets it back, chips in short to Orville. Orville switches back in towards the corridor. Coming out hard was McGrath. Ball comes into his hands now, wrestles it away from Newman. Chips in short to Keranua. And again, Waratah's use of the ball has been terrific, and Searle comes off for a well-earned rest now, being replaced by Mosquito. But Callum Searle obviously played in the representative game on the weekend, has been really good again today.
And the other thing with Waratah, they've got such good depth this season, and I think their Div 1 won by about 40 points today. So pressure's on, like, in the top teams for spots come finals. It's the business end of the season. So we've got a ripper couple of weeks coming up.
Keranua comes in now on that left foot, kicks towards goal. It's going right towards the goal line, drifts across the face. Brenton Motlop, ball spilled out of his hand, but he was over the line, and it's a minor score for Tars. McLean brings it in quickly, but it's chopped off there at half forward by Mitch O'Donnell, and another opportunity for Tars. So when Braden McLean starts turning it over like that, you know that Wanderers are really in trouble.
And he's worked really hard though today, Braden McLean. As we said, captain and trying to rally the troops. But it's Mitch O'Donnell with the ball. His nickname is Bull. He used to play for the Box Hill Hawks and played in a premiership in 2018.
So it's going right to the line, and fell just short, was patted out, and now Wanderers bring it out. Falls into the hands of Priest. Priest plays on from that mark, kicks it inboard, but it's all Waratah there, or the mark's spilt by Zobel, and now Turnbull's tackled with the ball. High tackle according to the umpire against Baird, and Turnbull has got 3 players down forward, but goes long towards the goal square, comes to the front of the pack where McLean pats it into the hands of a teammate. Dre Thompson in there doing hard work again, as is O'Donnell, and the ball's patted out the back. Orville missed it with his boot, and Cabillo drives it forward. Simpson underneath that one couldn't hold on to the mark, recovers well to make the tackle on Arnold Kirby, and we'll have a ball up in front of the grandstand. So Kirby up against Priest. Kirby hooks it over the top, finds Turnbull down here. He's under plenty of pressure. Manor breaks that tackle and bounces it off Thomas Motlop over the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
Yeah, just a bit of a stalemate on the wing here for both teams, and the umpire will throw it in again, and it looks like Kirby going up in the ruck again for Tars, Stu.
Yeah, against Baston Priest, and they have a look at each other and not the ball then, and neither of them gets it. Ball spills out now, and Motlop with good hands to Baird. Baird flicks it over the top by hands to Jakura, but his return handball wasn't so good. Recovers again now, then fumbles in the mud, gets the hand pass out to Priest. Priest is going to drive a long bomb down towards Brett Eddy direction. Mark spilt down there, but Tars have got the numbers. Maloney couldn't control it in the end. Gooch is under the pack trying to win the ball. It's dragged in, but I'm not sure who by. Play on's the call. It comes out the back. Thomas Motlop picks it up, hooks around the corner, kicks down towards the goal square. It's drifting over the back, and Timmy Mosquito read it best, as he often does, and takes the mark and now chips it out wide to Simpson. Simpson takes the mark, plays on and chips the ball back into the middle of the ground where he's got a couple of free players. O'Donnell spills that mark, however, and puts his team under pressure. Zobel by hands out here, and now Tars through Turnbull, and a free player again. Arnold Kirby's found himself in some space, and now he's got another player free. And Orville hand passes over the top looking for Collis, but that wasn't his best and put him under pressure. He's tackled down there by Hodgson, And play on's the call. Let it play on for a long time, which is good. And now Tars again through Edmonds. The ball spills out the back, Turnbull by hand to Kirby, but his kick's not that great. And Jobaston Priest picks it up, kicks as he's tackled, and running onto the ball hard here is O'Donnell for Tars. Hand passes across to Orville. Orville swings it round on the left to the top of the goal square. It slips over the back. Henry Keranua's lurking there. Picks up cleanly. Swings around on the left. Sees a player, teammate out wide, and went that way. The kick was Simpson, I think it was, and he's finished well. And again, some wrestling going on, but the football was pretty good before it.
It was amazing, amazing by Keraunua there. Such composure to get it back to his teammate, and a beautiful finish. And the boys are just saying hello to each other again out there. Tempers are flaring, and hopefully that stops pretty quickly, because we just need them to get on with the game. So a goal to Waratah.
Yeah, I think the goal umpire's waiting to get the all clear here, but one of the field umpires has taken the ball back to the middle of the ground, so pretty sure it's a goal. Yep, got it now. So the flags will be waved before we can ball this one up. Simon Bates coming back here in front of us. Looks a bit sore actually. But, he's making his way down to the forward line now, and the game's really run away from Wanderers here in this third quarter. Tars kicking 5 unanswered goals and have been pretty impressive, Liz.
That's right. So 16.5 minute mark of the third quarter. Waratah 9-4-58, leading Wanderers 2-6-18.
So coming in hard for the contest there was Deacon Braun. The ball slips over the back, and Marlon Motlop drives it forward. Some holding of the jumper down there. It's going against Brett Eddy.
And it's just got dark here at Gardens Oval, and a bit more rain's coming in, so that'll make conditions a bit more slippery as the game goes on.
Alex Maloney in defence for Tars. He's been good all year. Drives the ball down here, and that one goes over the back. Robbie Turnbull was looking there and read it beautifully. Takes the mark sliding in front of Marlon Motlop, and he's been good again today, Liz.
He has. Both of them have, Motlop and Turnbull. So Marlon's really tried hard for his team, who aren't going so well, as Matty Motlop hits that across the line right in front of the grandstand. But yeah, Turnbull's been great today and fantastic all season, really.
Certainly has, and just one of those quality midfielders out on the ground today that just work hard for the whole game.
I was just writing down the better players for Waratah, and there's so many. It's been a good team game.
And there's one of them as well, Timmy Mosquito at half-back, takes that intercept mark, and he would have taken about 1,000 of them in his career, I would think. Drives the ball back into the middle of the ground. Oh, coming out fast was Newman, but it went past him. Turnbull's out there again, chips it off the ground, if you don't mind, straight into the hands of his teammate McGrath. Went back in for the ball and gave away the free kick, and now Wanderers looking to run the ball out of defence. Braden McLean by hand out to Sean Manor. Manor on the run, kicks long towards half forward, but that's gone too wide, and it'll bounce out of bounds at half forward for Wanderers, and they probably needed to try to get the ball down the corridor and get some score on the board. It's been clogged up on the boundary lines too much for their liking, I would think. Yeah,
and the wind's picking up now as well, which will come into play, make conditions even harder. I'm just looking, I have a quick look on the radar, and there's some pretty heavy rain about to hit us, Stu.
Yeah, which doesn't bode well for outscoring your opposition by 7 goals in the last quarter and a bit of the game. So Tars in a really good position here, and deservedly so. They've played some terrific footy today, and they're really building towards the business end of the season.
I've worked or commentated quite a few of the Australia Day games over the years, and it pretty much guaranteed to rain here today at Gardens Oval, so something the spectators would be used to.
So Searle again streaming out of the defence, hand passed over to Sutton. Sutton kicks long down the line. There's bodies flying everywhere there, and it's a free kick, and it's getting a bit hard to see on the other side of the ground.
It is a Wanderers free kick though, and it's going to go forward on their 50-metre line there. Players going up for the ball, but it hits the ground.
So Brody Carroll gets his hands on it. A quick hand pass across to Anchors. Oh, Timmy Mosquito tackled by Dre Thompson without the ball there, and now the advantage is paid. Dylan Collis drives Tars forward. Diving attempt at the mark down there by Arnold, but it's not paid, and we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, he nearly held on to it. It just popped out at the last minute. Brenton Motlop was right on his hammer, and good pressure by him to force the spill of the ball.
So Cam Arnold wins that hit out to Turnbull. Good quick hands to Brodie Carroll, but his kick goes out of bounds on the full, and Braden McLean will take that free kick. No one's hurrying to get on the mark so far, but McLean doesn't take advantage of that, and instead just drives the ball down the line. Coming over the top was O'Donnell. Brett Eddy's a long way up the ground there, got caught with the ball, and McFarlane also got carried over the line with the ball by Simpson. But there's a free kick here. It's gone against Eddy, I think, for holding the ball. And that's Alex Maloney, who's a solid defender for Tars, and he's done the job on Eddy today.
Yeah, they're just a bit flat Wanderers today. They really haven't reached any great heights, except for maybe 5 minutes where they kicked those 2 goals with the Motlops.
So McLean just punts it out of defence, but it's all Tars back there, and Callum Searle once again picks up, chips in short, finds Abe Ankers. Ankers plays on by hand to Sutton. Wasn't to his advantage really, but he picks it up and drills it inside. But Newman for Wanderers just hacks it out of defence, and Tars again through Ankers, but he's turned it over as well to Dre Thompson, and Dre's getting a little bit angry at times, but he's been a pretty good player today. Chips it across to McFarlane. McFarlane looking to go short again, turns it over. Dylan Collis in there by hand, and the ball spills out now. Bates is in there, tackled without the ball. Kiranua, but not paid, and Braden McLean chips across and takes the free kick, takes the mark at half back. He chips in short to Jakura, and Jakura out wide there, and it's Newman on the outer side of the ground. Now comes all the way back to Brenton Motlop just outside the goal square, hands it off to Marlon Motlop. Marlon jogs off, taps the ball on the ground once, and now kicks the ball outside defensive 50. Simon Bates is in there, but over the back Arnold picks up, hand passes back to Collis. Bates comes in late with the hip on Zobel, and it's a relayed free kick. And really, there's probably been a bit too much of this by Wanderers today.
Yeah, Batesy just needs to cool his jets a bit. He's not too far. He just, the late hits and the like, as we see the Wanderers player grab his arm there. Is that, I'm not sure who it is. Is it Brady Newman? It might be.
Yeah, I think it is. And Searle again put the ball in forward. Matty Motlop down there, but it's a free kick going Tars' way again, right on the boundary line. It's against Brenton Motlop, and it's going to be Jay McGrath who'll take this one.
And Wanderers have got an important game. They need to win next week against Buffaloes, and they should win, but that's at Tracy Village on Sunday, whereas Waratah plays St Mary's back here at Gardens on Sunday, so a couple of big games.
So McGrath right on the boundary line as he looks to check side this one. Kicks on its way. It's going across the face of goal and through for a behind only. So we're 23 minutes into this third quarter. Siren would be imminent, but it's Wanderers to bring the ball back in again through Braden McLean. You'd think they'd have to move the ball pretty quickly to get a score from here, but McLean runs out of the goal square, kicks long outside of defensive 50, picked up down there by Collis, hooks it round the corner. Oh, nice attempt to mark there. So it shovels out the back where Ankers gets a hand to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's in there again, working hard. McLean on the ground also. And Manor comes in to help, but the ball gets patted out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
41 points the margin, 9-5-59. Waratah leading Wanderers 2-6-18. A ball in, but they can't be much longer to go.
So a bit of wrestling in the ruck, where the ball slips over the back, and kick as the siren goes. I think that score will count to Mitch O'Donnell. It does, but it's only a minor score. But Waratah totally dominant in that third quarter, kicking 5 goals to none, and have really set this game up for themselves. And yeah, probably disappointing as a contest, but Ryan Ayres would be really happy with what's happened for Tars today so far, Liz.
Yeah, Ayres would be wrapped. He's been a really impressive coach since he's come on board at Waratah. He did his apprenticeship out at Southern Districts at under Shannon Rusko. He was part of the premiership winning team, so he's been great. But likewise, Shannon Mollop's been fantastic this year, bringing Wanderers from the bottom of the ladder up to where they are second at the moment. So he's been great. They're obviously not doing so well today, but just one game. So we'll go to the 3/4 time break and we'll be back for the last quarter very soon. Back here at Gardens Oval for the final quarter of the Foundation Cup between Waratah and Wanderers, and it's Waratah with a 42-point lead, Stu, after a fantastic third quarter for them, and the rain is coming down, so we could see a low-scoring last quarter.
Sure is. So Wanderers with the first free kick. It's Hodgson. He kicks towards the outer side of the ground. Eddie out there, got his hands to the ball, couldn't hold the mark. He's working for the ball on the ground again. Plenty of players around the ball, and we'll have a ball up on the other side of the ground.
Where do you think the difference has been today, Stu? Do you think Wanderers have just not adapted to the weather, or
I don't
just
know.
didn't come out of the blocks?
It's been a bit like that, and I think they've tried to be a bit too cute coming out of defence sometimes, trying to pinpoint a teammate in between other players, and Tars have really worked hard defensively and set themselves up, and their skills have been good in the conditions. They've been pretty impressive today. So McFarlane with that free kick drives long into the forward line. Cabillo is up high. Searle hand passed as he was tackled. Ball spills out on the ground, and again it's out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
And Tars have had a good spread of goal kickers today. They haven't relied on their full forwards, or their full forwards have had opportunity but probably haven't converted, and the smaller guys are getting goals.
That's right, and of course Brett Eddy hasn't had many opportunities up forward, and they've had to use Simpson in the ruck a bit. He normally plays forward for them, and it hasn't really been a day for the big fella today, but Eddie's doing the ruck work this time against Kirby. Uses his body well, but the ball falls to the front. Searle in there again, and under pressure from Erlandson, the ball goes out of bounds, and another boundary throw in.
And we were talking in the break, and the good form of Waratah just makes next week's fixture all the more exciting.
Certainly does, and really for the rest of the season there's great fixtures coming up, and the finals will be fantastic. I think clubs that are in the finals are pretty even, so you'll be wanting to watch all of those games from wherever you are around the country, or the world, I suppose.
Yes. We always get messages from people in other states, and who not so many overseas at the moment, but yeah, loving the fact that there's footy on up here, because they didn't have any in most other places around Australia. You see Liam Patrick with a great spoil there, that his shot on goal has gone astray, and he's not happy with himself either, Liam. So
no, he probably had a bit more time, could have steadied, but it's just been the story of the day for Wanderers, really. When they have had opportunities, they haven't taken them for the most part.
So the score, Waratah 9-6-60, lead Wanderers 2-7-19 at the 3-minute mark of the final quarter.
So the ball on the ground down here. Mana tries to punch it forward. He's back in there again, but gets a hand pass out, slips out of Thomas Motlop's hands. O'Donnell in there working hard. He's tackled as he picks up the ball. The ball spills out now. Abe Ankers is in there working hard, and over the top he's got someone underneath him. We'll see who they are as they pick themselves up, and we'll have a ball up. That was Manor on the bottom of the pack, and comes out to Marlon Motlop here. Brodie Carroll's in there. He's tackled without the ball, and he'll take the free kick at half-back. Advantage is paid here. Ankers takes that, kicks down the line, but first back to it is Matty Motlop. He chips in short, looking here for Big Simpson. He takes that mark as the strapping comes off his arm, but he wheels around and kicks into outside forward 50. Liam Patrick uses his body to get his opponent out the way. The ball slips out the back, and Callum Searle, racking him up today, gets kicked down the line to Sutton. Sutton takes the mark, hand passes forward to William Collis. Collis is decked again after he kicked the ball. That was Dre Thompson again, and it's a free kick down the field, and just some unnecessary stuff from Wanderers, really. Yeah,
that takes them right up to the 50-metre mark of their attacking end, and this kick will get them pretty close to goal.
So it's Cameron Arnold. He's outside 50. You wouldn't expect him to score with this kick, but he's just looking at his options down forward. Wanderers have pushed a few numbers back, but he chips across to half forward, where Sutton's made some space, and takes the mark as Totham closed on him. And
still going on with it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, Sutton's going to have that kick from probably just inside the 50. It's his first season in the NTFL. He's made his debut in round 1. He's played the NAB League with the Calder Cannons and was going to play for Coburg in the VFL until COVID-19. And he's another one from the Riddell District Footy League in Victoria, which is near Sunbury, just out of Melbourne. A few Sunbury boys up. The Lance from St Mary's are from Sunbury, so...
Sutton's kick on the way and just drifting a bit, but it's close. Touched, in fact, hit the goalpost, so are behind there for Tars, their first score for the quarter, and Braden McLean brings it in for Wanderers. Kicks close to the boundary line on this grandstand side. Simpson got his hands to the ball. Totham hand passes over the top. McGrath punches forward, and now Manor gets a hand pass forward, but off the ball. There was a holding free kick, and it's James Edmonds again, who's got a couple of goals, I think. Liz hasn't been a bad player.
Yeah, he kicked the first goal of the game, and he kicked another one in the last quarter, and he and Jared Erlinson are not happy with each other.
Oh, he kicks it straight into Erlinson there. Cabillo gets on the end of it and hooks it round the corner. McFarlane coming in, but Maloney was first there, slipped as McFarlane came in, and
it wasn't much in it.
No, it was just slipped, and wasn't much McFarlane could do. His arm dragged across the neck there, and so Tars once again in defence. Strong. The kick comes down the line. Mosquito picks up off the ground. Hand passes to Kiranua, who is stationary, but gets a hand pass over the top to Kirby. Kirby inside to Turnbull running. Tries to break the tackle from Manor, but the tackle was too good. And it'll be a free kick to Sean Manor at half-back. He gets the ball back and plays on straight away, looking for Thomas Motlop, but it goes well over his head, and he's got some work to do now against William Collis. Collis gets down on the ground, and Thomas falls over the top of him and gives away the free kick. So,
well, 3 goals to his name, and he's been pretty good today, William Collis. He'd have to be in the best for the Tars.
Certainly would. He's been a very good contributor. So is this bloke, Callum Searle. And he finds Brock Orville going forward. Orville takes the mark, now plays on. Kicks out wide. In front there is Jakura for the Eagles, and he takes that mark just in front of his interchange gate, and drives the ball down the line here. Deacon Braun up early with his hands on his opponent, and the umpire said that's illegal, and it'll be a free kick to Brock Orville right in front of us here.
Yeah, you've got to take the mark if you're going to do that, Deacon. So
Newman over the back takes a terrific mark in these conditions under contest with McGrath. He chips it back to Brenton Motlop, who slips out of his hands and then tries to boot it off the ground, and now they're under all sorts of pressure again, but eventually by hand it comes out to Jakura, who chips it short to Motlop in the back pocket, and Motlop now looking to go straight up the corridor, but again the kicks offline, and chipping in there. William Collis once again takes the mark at half forward, and the umpire's just straightening him up on his line. Umpire Sam Cunningham there, but Collis, as you said, Liz, certainly one of the better players on the ground today, and his form has been really good over the last few weeks.
Yeah, fantastic. As we said, kicked 3 goals already, and just been in everything, so he'll take this from about 40 metres.
Kicks on its way now. It's drifting just into the goalpost for another minor score for Tars. So no goals so far in this last quarter. We're almost 9 minutes in, but as Liz said at the start of the quarter, the rain's coming down. It hasn't stopped, although not as heavy as it was as the players ran on the field for the start of the game. But again, Manor wins that one. Hand passes looking for Cabillo, but Searle read it best. Got the hand pass across to Simpson. His kick goes forward. Kiranua down there lurking, taps the ball forward, and got a free kick off the ball here. It's going against Kiranua, and we'll go to Braden McLean, who's probably been Wanderers' best today, Liz.
Yeah, he hasn't stopped trying all game. A real captain's game by Braden, but isn't it interesting all the scoring's been at the other end for this game, Stu?
Yeah, amazing. So Marlon Motlop in the back pocket drives the ball down the wing here, goes over the head of Priest. Callum Searle there again, tidies up for Tars, hooks the ball back towards half forward, and Dylan Collis in there couldn't take the ball cleanly, and Totham tapped it out to Hodgson. Hodgson back to Totham. His hand pass missed his teammate there in McLean. There's a Tars player down on the ground behind the play there, but Wanderers working the ball out. Hodgson by hand to Totham, but his kick is off the line and just hits Dylan Collis there, and he switches the ball but finds the Waratah player in, but the Wanderers player in between three Waratah players, and that's Matty Motlop, who drives long down the outer side. Liam Patrick works his way to the advantage there, kicks off the ground. Brad Eddy picks it up, ducks one way, now avoids the tackle, has a shot at goal from deep in the pocket. It goes straight across the face and bounces out of bounds in the left forward pocket. And,
just hasn't been his day or his team's day today, and the score reflects that. Waratah 9-8-62, leading Wanderers 2-7-19, just coming up to the 11-minute mark of the final quarter, and that was James Edmonds, who was down for a while for Waratah in the Waratah forward line, Stu.
So Will Collis again working hard out at half back, gets a kick forward and finds McGrath. McGrath takes the mark there in front of Brodie Newman, but kicks long down here, but Hodgson works Brodie Carroll under the ball and takes the mark, and Hodgson hasn't been Wanderers' worst today either. He's had a fair bit of it, looking for Priest there, but Dylan Collis got the rebound, and now McGrath goes short to Sutton, who goes by hand to Zobel. Ball falls into Brodie Carroll's hands. He kicks the ball long, but Braden McLean, reading that at half-back, takes the intercept mark. Now plays on towards the outer side of the ground, looking for Marlon Motlop. There's plenty of Waratah players out there. Motlop does pretty well to keep the ball in front of him, but so too does Brock Orville to put the pressure on. Marlon Motlop's in there again, paddles the ball in front of himself. Sebastian Priest, and now Cabillo drives the ball deep forward, and Brett Eddy has worked really well to get in front and take that mark on his chest against plenty of opposition, and the mark's paid, and I think he got a whack across the chops as it happened, accidentally of course, and he'll get up and take a set shot from the top of the goal square. So Wanderers looking for their first goal since the second quarter, and Eddy wastes no time. Kicks now, no problem whatsoever, straight through the middle, and he kicks his first goal for the game, and obviously Wanderers first for the quarter.
Yeah, good goal there by Brett Eddy. As you said, Stu worked really hard to get that. He becomes their third goal kicker, along with Thomas Motlop and Marlon Motlop. So Waratah still obviously though with a pretty big lead. Brett Eddy has had a good season though, and I'm sure Wanderers will rebound next week, Stu. You know, they'll try and put this game behind them.
Oh yeah, look, they've worked hard all season to put themselves in the position they are, and I'm sure they won't just let that slip away now. Just hasn't been the day for them, but they'll bounce back. Don't worry about that. And Shannon Motlop will have them working on the track and firing next week when they come out against Buffaloes.
So the score: Waratah 9-8-62, leading Wanderers 3-7-25.
So Will Collis again for Tars, picks up, chips it in towards half forwards. Got McGrath there who takes the mark, hand passes off, and in the conditions Waratah's using the ball really well. That was Simpson who got it forward to Dylan Collis, and there's a bit of push and shove off the ball, and Dylan Collis isn't worrying about that. He's going back to have a look at a shot for goal as the players sort themselves out now, and Dylan Collis taking plenty of time over this. So kick on the way, and that's a pretty ordinary kick. Goes out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
You don't want to do that right in front of the Wanderers bench when you're Waratah. So Braden McLean to bring it in, and of course his dad Rod played for Waratah. He was a bit of a legend back in the day, Stu.
Yeah, well Braden played for Waratah for a short time as well, so another free kick after disposal here, and just getting a little bit untidy. And Abe Ankers gets on the end of this to take the free kick, and he'll just settle things down a bit.
Sam Cunningham telling all the players just to disperse, and we've got a rip jumper.
Yeah, I think that's Brock Orville.
Going to the bench. Yeah, Brock Orville was in the middle of it for a while there. But it's Abe Ankers, what a champion footballer he is. Such success at NT Thunder. He's won a couple of Minahan medals down in the CAFL, and he's been outstanding for Waratah. We'll see what he does with this one.
So coming in now, kicking from just inside 50. The kick's on its way. The ball's a bit heavy, of course, and drops in the goal square. It's punched through for a behind. So Wanderers again through McLean. He's wasting no time. Plays on, runs out of the square, and hand passes to Marlon Motlop. Marlon Motlop drives the ball long down the wing. Eddie underneath this one almost took that mark, but Hodgson was there, did well, picked up, hand passed outside to Deacon Braun. Got tackled as he was looking for options. McFarlane loses the ball in the tackle, and the free kick's paid to Robbie Turnbull out right in front of the grandstand here. So Turnbull just slowing things down. Abe Ankers is trying to work himself into some space down the boundary line here, but Turnbull's going to go longer than that. Looking for the big fella Kirby. Oh, Ankers read it beautifully off hands. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. McLean slipped and couldn't take the mark. He's fighting for the ball again. Erlinson's in there. He gets tackled straight away. Play on's the call. Picked up down there by Matty Motlop. Hand passes back to McLean, who drives it down the line where Newman dives for the ball. It falls just short of him, but he gets back up and kicks the ball forward again towards the centre wing. Searle under there got caught with the ball pretty solidly, and that was Josh Cabillo who picks himself up with the ball. Searle's a bit sore and sorry for himself on the ground as we're looking for a ball up here.
Yeah.
And it looks like he might be holding his shoulder.
Yeah, the trainer's gone out to him, but
Robbie Turnbull gets that kick from the restart.
The players are all saying there's an injured player, and the umpire's going to disperse them.
Yeah, so I guess he's saying if you want to stop the play, then get a stretcher on the ground or something.
Yeah, and I actually think they're going to, so there's not much movement going on at all.
So Callum Searle, who has had a really good game again today, but this isn't how Tars want to see him finishing, and if that's any sort of serious shoulder injury, he's going to be struggling to get back before finals time at the earliest, you would think.
Yeah, but he's in good hands there. The Waratah's trainers, all our trainers in the league are exceptional volunteers and support staff for the clubs, and wouldn't be able to run the game without them, and we appreciate all the hard work that they do.
So this in fact could be a concussion or a neck sort of injury, the way Darren Habits, the trainers there, is just holding his head, making sure that he doesn't move, and I'm sure they'll get a stretcher out to him pretty soon. Yeah, and
the two teams are going to go to their huddles while this is happening. So we were just about to tick over to the 18-minute mark of the final quarter. Waratah 9-9-63, leading Wanderers 3-7-25, and the stretcher has come out, and the trainers, led by Darren Habits and Jan Grace, there will expertly get him off the field safely.
So, yeah, a really convincing performance by Tars today, and as I said, Callum Searle's been terrific in the back half for them, but probably some other good players. Will Collis has been great with a few goals and getting plenty of the ball around the ground. His brother Dylan's been pretty good as well, and I like Bailey Zobel's game from defence as well. And the big fella Arnold Kirby's just kept battling all day, and Robbie Turnbull, of course, is a class player in the midfield for them, Liz.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely been no passengers in the Waratah side today, and Coach Ryan Ayres will be wrapped with that. You know, as we said, pressure on for spots. Their Div 1 are performing well, always under Coach Pooh Carroll, and yeah, he'd be wrapped with the strength going towards the final series. So Wanderers, though, they've been great as well all season. They'll regroup, and Shannon Motlop's got a good coaching team around him. So as we see the player come off to applause, so we hope that he's...
Good to see the Wanderers players in that applause as well. So
for sure.
Hopefully a bit of the spike goes out of the game, and not that this injury was caused by any sort of spite, but yeah, Callum Searle looking pretty sore as he's taken over the boundary line straight into the change rooms there. Let's hope it's not too serious, and we see him back on the field in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and former Wanderers president Ben Cocker opening the gate to let the Waratahs crew through. So well done, Ben. As we see play get back underway here at Gardens Oval after that short break, and Waratah 9-9-63 leading Wanderers 3-7-25.
So ball goes over the top of the ruckman. Dylan Collis in there, slid past the ball, and now Wanderers through Manor looking to bring the ball forward, but his kick's smothered. He's back onto it again. McFarlane just hacks it forward, and it runs past the players there. Brett Eddy running back, but some good defensive work by Gooch. Gets back in front of him. Now the ball's stuck underneath the pack, and we'll have a ball up at half forward for Wanderers at the Darwin High School end of the ground.
So just the one goal scored this quarter, and it was to Wanderers. And yeah, low scoring final quarter. We probably don't have too much time left.
No, except for that stoppage, of course. So there's probably a couple of minutes yet, but the rain's eased off at least, and it looks like the sun's even trying to sneak through. But I don't think Wanderers could blame the weather for today's performance. Waratahs have just been too good for them on the day. So ball squirts out now, and Sean Manor looks to go left, then right, then left, and eventually goes left and kicks down. And Liam Patrick out on the lead, wraps this one up on his chest, 50 metres out from goal. Well, he's probably about 40 metres out from goal. So he'll go back, and looks like he'll take the shot at goal. And it'll be a consolation if he gets it, but Shannon Motlop at least will be pleased that Wanderers have kept having a crack into the final quarter. His kick's drifting across the face. Oh, big leap down there by Josh Kabila, I think it was. And
no, not sure. No, that was Jason Baird, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a bit hard to read with the mud on the back of the jumpers.
Josh
but yeah,
is down in front of us here.
Of course, Liam, though, he's a pretty amazing football story, driving from Largemanu, which is about a 8 or 9 hour drive to play footy. He was a Gold Coast Suns player, played 13 games and kicked 6 goals for them, coming up to about 10 years ago now, Stu, and played for NT Thunder. So a great remote footy story.
So Deacon Braun's kick came back in forward 50, but Tars are first to it in front of the boundary line, but get carried over, and so another boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Wanderers. So the throw in now, Kirby and Eddie doing the ruck work. Kirby reaches over the top. Mosquito in there, burrowing in for the ball. But now the pack of players forms again, and the ball's stuck underneath, and we'll have a ball up once again. So most players will be pretty glad to hear the final siren go. I would think the conditions have been pretty heavy, and they've all had plenty of football in the last few days. So again on the outer side, the kick around the corner by Marlon Motlop, but it's touched over the boundary line, and another boundary throw in.
Yep, a 38-point margin coming up to the final siren here at Gardens Oval. It's been a pretty impressive display by Waratah, and as we said, a big game next week for them against St Mary's, who are just above them on the ladder.
So boundary throw in there. Eddie gets his hand to the ball. Kirby gets it in his hands, and now Anchors hooks it out of there and clears it down towards the centre of the ground. Running across the back of the pack was Matty Motlop. He couldn't get his hands on the ball. He's still in there working. Braden McLean does well to pick up and evade the tackle. In fact, he was caught high, won the free kick. And that's the end of the
siren.
game.
Yep,
So,
9-9-63. Waratah defeated Wanderers 3-7-25 in a comprehensive display, Stu.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though Tars didn't work goalless in the last quarter, they really set it up. Probably in that third quarter when they kicked 5 goals to none and blew Wanderers out of the contest, and that really sets up a tight go for those top 3 places going into the finals, and Tars have given themselves a red-hot chance to grab one of those places, and their form is terrific at the right time of the season.
For sure, and it was William Collis with 3 goals who led for Waratah. Dylan Collis with 1, Jay McGrath, John Simpson, 2 to James Edmonds and 1 to Cameron Arnold, while Thomas Motlop 1, Marlon Motlop, and who was the other goal kicker for Wanderers today.
It was Brett Eddy in
Brett
that
Eddy,
last
of
quarter.
course, and so just the 3 goals to them. Liz Cruz and Stu Davis at Gardens Oval, big thank you for joining us today, Tuesday, for the Foundation Cup, and we'll be back again on the weekend to bring you some more NTFL footy. Thanks to AFL NTV.
And the player of Waratah